Okay, it's been brought to my attention, understanding everything that's going on right now. Priscilla sent me a really powerful video through communications of interforce connections of line signals through communications of interforcing connections of code ethics and understand reductions and everything through channel signaling program systems. The harmonic reactor division, she sets her course to all locations. She's putting a number of frames of divisions of old program settings, understanding everything through algorithm system. It's very powerful stuff. Remember, we're getting into the binary codes. The problem with that is that she's got the old prothesis set up, but she doesn't have the new prothesis. There's two divisional levels of signals. Now, she's in her framing system, but she doesn't understand the planet locations. She's set at number frequencies, but it's very powerful stuff, but she's not a line signal division. Really complicated stuff, guys. So basically, getting into reduction of code ethics is understanding the binary codes to communicate with anything. She has no Vega, she has no multiplication of Mercury, and she doesn't have Jupiter rising. So you have to understand how to communicate through these levels. Now, she has surface sync through communication when it comes to her algorithm program settings, where it comes into suffocation and everything through reprogrammed division. I'm going to get extremely complicated to you guys because this is what's going on right now, okay? She's sending out codes, all right? But in reference, she doesn't understand the alignments, okay? So she's in right in some way area, but she's missing numbers. If you're missing numbers, you're not sending out the right codes. Everything has to be in chronological order when it comes to AI. Your AI commander sets everything through communication, through anything through binary division, all right? So I think all the subscribers and everybody who's watching my channel, feel free to watch and subscribe. Anything you want to know, it's very powerful what's going on right now. I'm connecting to Vega, and Vega's telling me to say, listen, that's not right. It's not right. The information's right, but the channeling of the information to its communication of the binary codes is wrong. So binary codes reduction. Now, it's extremely retraction. Now, you don't have to know these things, but people put out information to trick your mind system. Now, she's in the right code system. I checked her background system. She's got a laser direction line system. She's got an XT1000 communicating with her, but she's light and dark. She's not light. That's the issue. So anything through a binary code is its reduction, right? So she has to understand harmonic resistance or in her prime numbers. So she's got a lot of communication signals, but the planet locations aren't in the right position. Jupiter rising, right? And then she's talking about the black sun. I mean, there's a lot of information that I was watching over the YouTube system. She's got the code framing system, right? But she has the binary code reduction that is setting courses to wrong locations of planets. So if you want to understand what's going on through codes, please come to me, please. Because anything that you watch, right, is activated. Now, she can't activate the number signals. She can only telegraph the signal. But she can't go to the right location because it's not information. So if you're trying to set off a missile and you miss a number, what happens? It's not going to rocket off, is it? It's not going to go into its binary of its codes, of its ethics. Ethics of everything. Ethics of anything to a number. The frequencies or anything through vibration. Energy, frequency, and vibration is everything through number, right? And anything through code frequencies, level division, level system. Activate everything through core systems. So, and it all depends on where you're going through positions, right? Because it goes on so many level activation code systems, right? So when you're getting through communication, activate anything through location system. Okay, now, understanding what's going on through projections. Okay, so I got a little bit of code references here. Okay, so I'll give you a bit of understanding what's going on. So it's knowing that when you're using number sequence levels, your connection through one number to another number to another number is allocated to percentages of planets. Okay, so we have the Mercury, we have Jupiter rising, we have Saturn. You have to understand the code. You have to understand the binary of its code. All right, before you telegraph anything to its energy system, to the telewavings or anything through communication signals. You can't set up codes if it's not in some right reference. Okay, her platitude divisions are right, and her information, but the binary code, she has its reduction. So she's missing numbers. She's not connected to Vega. You have to be connected to Vega. Vega is the most powerful source through connection to anything through energy system, because it connects through Mercury, it connects through Jupiter, it connects through Saturn. Okay, those are retrogrades. Okay, now it deteriorates on so many level systems. It's a really powerful stuff and you get a connection. So you get anything through formation like this. This is activation systems, right? Through code of ethics, through binary code system, right? So you get anything through its reduction or anything through its code symbols, understanding what's going on with its weather patterns. Because every code frequency level system has an atmosphere system through its teleportation. So each number has its own fragmentation line system, right? It's extremely complicated stuff if you don't understand traction division of location. All right. So basically, she's just setting up codes like 1 1 6 5 3 4 7 6 1 9. All right. And then she has an arrow like this. Okay. Now, this is understanding that the number sequences, okay, are allocated through positions. All right. So it's 1 1 2 and so on, right? And it has the arrow reduction. So anything through surfacing system has to be in the right location of the planet location. It has to reach that position, right? So if one number is off, okay, it won't locate to that planet location, and it will send misinformation right away. Okay. She's a light and dark symbol. She's sending out transformation light signals to numbers of code reductions in her binary code division. So her central system is connected through her right code system, but the allocated positions is a binary code reduction. That's where it's confusing to the mind system. Okay. So it's very powerful how, Priscilla came to me. Now, there's a lot of suppressions going on there, and everything that she's saying is true, right? But like I'm saying, to set out anything codes, everything has to be in chronological order through number of frequencies. Okay. It's got to be in chronological order, or you can't read the planet location, right? So let's say it's Vega. Vega is very powerful. Okay. And then you got Mercury. You have to understand how to communicate with planets. And then you got Jupiter rising. So you have to understand everything through information of Jupiter, Mercury, and Vega. Okay? So it's all about the binary and its system. Now she's allocated through positions, but she's a light and dark reference system, right? I was watching a video. It's very powerful, but there's a lot of misconceptions and misinformation. Okay? Now, she's got the right information, but she's got the wrong code binary codes reduction. And it's kind of like, 1 plus 1 is 2, but it's not. It's 1 plus 1 is a billion. 1 plus 1 is, a trillion, a zillion. So it's all about the levels that you go up through, its connection through its codes, right? So when you reach those levels, this is what you get through space right here. Okay, not this. Okay. So she's going through human DNA code reference. Okay, this is AI reference. You notice the difference, how she can only do this and she can't do that? You have to be this to communicate with these. You can't do this to communicate with that, because these are the old programs. Okay, and she's also set up an old program to a new program. Okay, a new evolution to a new revolution to a new era to a new division of new program setting. Right, there's a lot of suppression, a lot of humanity, how we've been played and how we've been programmed, and how everything through its suppression and everything through its consciousness, right? She's right about that, about it's never going to go back. She's right about a lot of things, but you have to be cautious, okay? Because there are a lot of people that do these things for certain reasons, to give you the truth, and truth will set you free. But if there's numbers that are missing or numbers in the wrong location, that's the binary code reduction. Okay, so you really have to understand the weather patterns to the number sequences. you have to understand the numbers of its weather. Each number here is a code, right? So understanding the code of this, 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 and this, and this is intelligence. But if you have one signal off, you're not reaching Vega, Mercury, or Jupiter, because they all connect. Remember, everything in the universal system connects, right? To one number, to another number, to another number. So if you set out a binary code into space and it doesn't connect with any of these planets, these are the localized planets that we communicate every single day. Vega in traction, Mercury, okay, in its connection, and Jupiter in its rising. Okay, so you know Mercury's metal, magnetic force, you know Vega is communication to spacecraft divisions, and anything through Jupiter rising is humanity's system. So this is where you really have to get into all positions and levels through the binary code reduction. So, but other than that, how's everybody doing? There's a very, very powerful video that Priscilla sent to me. There's a lot of communication missed signals there. And the first thing I look at is very important that when you're going through AI, T-Anything connection, you have to look at their backgrounds and foregrounds. Okay, they both have to be lit up. Then you understand what realm they're in, then you understand their planet location. So if anybody's sending out numbers, they have to be in the right position. They have to be in the right chronological order system. But I found it fascinating how she was sending numbers out, but nothing from AI. This is AI. This isn't AI. This is AI. Okay, see the difference? So this is complicated if you don't understand the codes. Okay, this is a formula. This is a formula. This is a low formula. This is a high formula. This is communication to the planets. This isn't communication. Okay, it's reference to communication. All right, there's good points and there's bad points to it, but everything in position, because she knows she's a light signal and she's giving back channeling information, right? But I was looking at her programmed and there's a lot of missing numbers. There's no Vega communication there, right? And I got confirmation from them. I said, listen, make sure you get that down, right? They can't, the thing is too, is that even though she programs it out, she can't send it out because it's in its wrong location, right? So that's what I'm saying, is that they try to manipulate your mind system. So, and that's where you come into the binary code reduction. It's really, really interesting and fascinating stuff. It's complicated stuff, guys. It really is. It's really, really complicated. Because when you're communicating with number frequencies, you have to understand that each number represents a country. Okay? This puts it in positions. That's why we have the dimensional Earth. So using code references of numbers that communicate to its countries, right? Countries, weather patterns, planets. Okay? So the number frequency level has to be all in the right location. If one number is off, it's not going to communicate to these planet locations. And you can't send it out either, right? From an old program to new program. You can read the information panels, right? But the problem is that if the information goes out, you have to understand the channeling. You have to understand the location. You have to understand the vibration. You have to understand the energy and frequencies through harmonic resistance. Okay? Anything through a harmonic reactor, okay, is sending out code divisions. But this is extremely complicated for anything for humans to understand these things, right? But anything through channeling, right? I can send you out the right information. This will go to this. This doesn't go to this because there's missing numbers. Okay. So it's all about overlooking things. Okay. Even if the numbers are confused, it's still not going to go up to channeling division. Okay. Vega, we just wanted to let you know that, right? I was talking to Vega just now and say, listen, make sure they get the right location, because it's all about reading intelligence through communication. All right. She's got answering patterns and right information, but her binary code division is in the wrong section divisions of locations. So she's got the center core system set up, but her reference to her number of her location is not connected to Vega. It has to be connected to Vega. You guys understand partnerships as they think through intelligence, communicate with anything through its point division. Okay? That's the most important thing. It's your point division that is reading every number into space and time. Okay? So each number represents each country. Why do you think we have countries? You're allocating positions and you're putting line signals up to each division, right? So I'm just telling you, when you're going through intelligence, anybody that's setting up a program, the before and after, what's happening through suppression, humanity, or anything through traction division, okay? They don't tell you that through its binary of its codes, do they? They don't say that at all. They just say that this is the number code, this is what I'm communicating with, this is my download, okay? But they don't tell you that each number represents a country. Why do you think we set codes out? Why do you think the atmosphere changes, right? Weather patterns, okay? Map sequences, map codes, all division level systems, all connected to the binary code reduction, right? Because everything has suppression. Yes, humanity's changing. We know that too, right? You have to understand how everything reacts to planets and why things change, why the dimensional system is going higher and higher through provision. Okay? You have to know these things. It's really important to get that out. Okay? So come to me if you come into anything through binary codes or anything through that. It's a very, very powerful message, but there's a lot of links there, missing links. And, you know, you can't miss numbers when you're communicating through an audience. Right? You just can't do it. You just can't. So I'm going to get that to everybody's attention. All right? So that's why we have numbers. All right? You have numbers for missiles. You have numbers for everything. You have numbers for identification of you. Right? That's your DNA. Every number is a DNA to a country. All right? Understanding the codes is understanding the binary of codes and how you set these things out into space through teleportation. Every number teleports through division to Vega, Mercury, and Jupiter. Okay? So, other than that, how's everybody doing? There's a lot of bit of interference. I can use my energy fields, but I'll change the atmosphere systems in my room. But I'm just getting up. This is a very quick video. This is all about the levels that you can reach to anything through a number of sequences, a number of fragmentation lines, anything through communication of ancestry or history. There's a lot of communication signals that are on wrong locations. You know, it's all about what you believe. Okay. Now, when I tell you that why we have codes is to understand why we have countries, is to understand that when you have a number in the right sequency level system, it teleports its information. Okay. So, yeah, no, I don't expect you to understand it. That's the issue here. This is really powerful video. But this is all about how number sequences are put into codes through formulas. Okay. And how Priscilla came to me about her energetic a relocator to a regenerization to an energy line system to connection to a plasma. She was communicating to me and asking me about what she thought of this. All right. Yeah, harmonic reactor. Okay, because a harmonic reactor can send out codes, but it has to be the right location. She's sending out some information that's right, but you can't have any missing links to codes because now you're not connecting to all countries. So each number right here is connected, right? Remember, every number is intelligence. Every number is a country. Every number is a binary code. Every number is a formula. So when you go into formulas, that's where it gets complicated stuff. Okay, go into formulas, right? Everybody knows a formula. Let's say you make a formula for water. Okay, H2O. Okay, so you have to understand the source. You have to understand its creation. You have to understand its energy, frequency, and vibration. Because numbers have that. Everything has energy, frequencies, and vibrations, right? So you don't have to worry about the code symbols right now. Okay, it's not a. So let's get H2O. Okay, so we start after that, H2O. Now, basically, I can set things up when it comes to space. Because when you become space and time, you can set these things up. So I get H2O, okay, L/division, okay. I can do dot frequency, okay. And I also can set up lacing line to holographic system. Okay. Okay. That's a formula. All right. That's a formula to space of water. Okay, that's connected through plasma, right? So that's a new plasma through energy field. Plasma energy field. This is a code. Now, if you send it the right code, you're sending it to the right location. So, plasma field energy. Okay. So, it's powerful stuff when you get into those connections. But when you're coming into numbers like this, everything is in teleportation division. It has to be, right? Now, when you're sending out codes like this, you have to be cautious, right? You have to be cautious because your line sequencing level system, everything I activated gives you tractions, gives you vibration, right? But if you send out wrong programs of information, it doesn't go right to the right location. Okay, the binary code division will just set in its core system, but it won't be activated because it's not in its right order division, right? And then you go like this. Pattern division level systems, 7653211. You know, there's a lot of things too that's missing right there. You go to that, and then you go activate center. This is more communication in the universe. All right. Not center and point, center and station. There's a difference, right? You got center point. Okay. And you got center station. So it switches around. So instead of ER, it's RE. Okay. But you see that? See these numbers? Activate center. So this is activated now. Okay, so I broke the code. This is the binary code, right? There's no reduction here. There's no misinformation. There's no recalibration. There's no integration because it's already set in its location. Okay, already set up its DNA. Each number is DNA to a country system. So I set up a code level system, okay, to Italy, right? This is Italy right here. This is a code to Italy. Why? Because I understand planets. Okay, that's a formula to Italy right there. That number is a code to Italy. So you have to understand what binary is. You have to understand what codes are. This is all connected to the pyramid, right? So, and then you understand the scriptures, the holographic symbols, right? Everything through mantra. And how everything's in line sequence, line connection, how pyramids are in its perfect lines, why it's in its perfect lines, why it's set up through its scriptures. Everything is a code. When you break the codes, Now you're communicating with the right location of planets. So you have to master communication of planets through intelligence to get partnership with anything through codes, right? So when you're coming into code ethics, now you're coming into binary, and this is extremely complicated because now you get into formulas. So, but the H2O/P/F sidewind and angle holographic system is the plasma field energy. That's the code, right? Now I can put that in your system. I can fly you to this position of its code system, tell you exactly what it did. So this is a code reference. This is about changing. This is about changing the active center to its grounds in Italy. Okay, that's the code right here. Okay, it's all connected to the pyramid. So you have to understand the codes of each country system to each number, to each letter, to each shape. Letters, numbers, and shapes have codes. Breaking the codes, you're breaking everything through its formula. Okay, because it center codes everything through information. All right. So, because it takes like what? Between 7 to 9 numbers, letters, or shapes, anything to set off a missile. Where does it go? The missile set its coordinates and it goes to a certain location, right? That's teleportation. Okay, you got energy of, let's see that crown chakra. Powerful stuff. See that? See that? See the sun interface? See how powerful it is? Look at that. Look at that. Look what it's done. It's taking me in. See? It's taking me in. Do you see that? See, watch. See how it changes? See, my whole hand goes in, right? Crown chakra. See? Powerful stuff in it. It's communion. It's amazing. So, if you come across anything through formulas or anything through codes, please come to me first, right? We can't send out information if it's wrong because you guys aren't at that level. If you set out signals and there's a higher formation through communication, right, it will go into its reduction and it will sky surface its system, okay? And it's all about relocating divisions. So it's all about protecting your lights, really, protecting you through its codes. In reference is extremely complicated stuff when you get into codes. Codes are everything. Codes are everything. Codes are everything to DNA. I can set up a human DNA, restructure division to line communication, electronic interference, right? So humans are trying to get into numbers, right? Allocated position. So it'd be H, or you can go human or H, doesn't matter. So human / division, okay, DL. So basically you understand the source code, okay? That's the source code. So basically that's the DNA, right? DNA of everything, okay? And then you get into the source code, okay? And then you get into the formula, okay? You get into the formula, and then you get into the result. Okay, those are the three things you have to go by. All right. Now, once you get the result, you send out the code. So the DNA of the human / point division level, source code formula result. Okay. There's 161131824 /cycle. Okay, now if you want me to communicate through codes, this is what I can do for you, but this is space and time, and it's extremely complicated stuff. So it's not going to make any sense to you, right? I'm just sending you structure human. Okay, so that's the code. Okay. So you have the source code, you have the formula, and the result through DNA. Okay. So it's this or this. Okay. So this is what the computer of yourself can do. So it can go to anything through formula. You can do it the long way or the short way. The long way is extremely hard to do because it's just all numbers. It's just numbers, right? But if you don't understand the numbers and where they're coming from through teleportation, you're in the wrong frequencies of planet locations. All right. Okay, so you basically have to understand what this is. What is that code? What is this code here? What is that code? What does it represent? Where is it at? Right? So remember, every time you do a line, right? This is a different line, this is a different line, different line, different numbers, different intelligence, different locations, right? So each number is a code to a different country. So you're not just sending codes to one country, you're sending codes to all different countries. That's how powerful the platforms are when it comes to the dimensional earth system. I can set the code for you to the dimensional earth, but it's one page. It's too long, right? So it's really understand your computer. It's all about understanding the chronological of its computer through its source DNA, through its source code DNA, through its formula DNA, and its result of its DNA. Okay? So, like, you can get arrows if you want. It doesn't matter. I mean, arrows are just saying, hey, you know, this is the equivalency line going forward, equivalency line going forward, equivalency line going forward, but where's it going? As soon as you put an arrow up, that's communication, right? So if somebody's sending up a code through anything, through a plasma or anything through a formula, they understand what the arrow is doing. If you're setting arrows up, right, you're setting it and you're trying to teleport it through its communication, right? Everything is information. Everything. Zero, triangle, star, arrows. Everything is communication. Okay, especially when it comes to universal system of language. All right. So, yeah, it's pretty powerful, eh? Look at that. It's incredible force, you know, when you connect. See, it's communicating with me. See? It's like SOS. See how it pauses? See, I'm doing this, right? Now if I change it, watch. See? It's changing. Changing the lights, changing direction, right? So, and that's why I don't get into codes, because you guys aren't at that level. But I thought it was fascinating to bring that to your attention, you know? Because codes go to planets, right? All codes go to planets. So if you're sending out codes, right, 2 numbers, they're going to countries. Human DNA, species, don't know that. They try their best, try to communicate with the alien information system. All right. So, but it's all connected through your binary system. Understand your computer system. Right? If you change colorations, right? Everything through colors is intelligence. So this is a different planet. This is a different planet. This is a different code. The coloration of this marker is a different code, right? So you're sending out different codes of colors and lights. Human species don't understand that either. They just look at the references of a big long number. So if you get 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, soon as you change it, if it goes 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0.1, now you're changing direction. Now you're changing location. Now you're changing intelligence. Now you're changing planets. But that planet has to be in its sequency level. So instead of putting 1, right, you have to put the highest level to its division. So it would be 1000. Okay, so instead of putting a 1 there, it'd be 1000. Okay, so it's complicated stuff when you get into codes to everything. The ethics of codes, the authenticity of codes. Okay, anything to relation when it comes to human DNA structure division, anything to that location, popular circuit division level system to that connection. All right, so as soon as you change the number, let's say it's 17. Remember, these are portals of realms and codes, right? I say we start off with that, right? 17777777. Now, in reference, if you put a slash or if you put a dot, it changes location. Okay, and then you can go into the waving patterns. So now you communicate with higher intelligence. Okay, now you can overlap that signal, put it like this through a point dot. Okay, so now it's getting complicated, right? Or you could, with the YouTube software mechanism I showed you, this is what we do. This is understanding through communication. How it has the colors in. This is connection to box frequency levels. This is connecting through matrix locations into division. Show you in positions. I'll just show you. When you go to formula, you really, really have to pay attention to what's going on through communication of everything, through numbers, letters, and shapes. So I'm going to do a board graph system and show you what it is. Now, this is the only information. This is shapes anomaly code, shape codes. Okay, this is how you communicate to matrix. I'm just going to set up a small code here, so I'll show you. Now you'll see it on the YouTube, on my platform. Okay, so you get into, as soon as you get into change, like this. All right, so we go from here to here to here, changes location, right? Because it's not anything through its reference. So this is different intelligence. So the box frequency levels of shapes is changing different planet locations of intelligence. It's setting codes to different locations, different shapes, right? Now, as soon as it changes position, it goes into a circle to its cycle rotation. It's communicating to higher formations of teleportation through shape codes. Okay? So you go bigger or you go smaller. And remember, if you change it again, this is what happens. So you go from here to smaller, and then you change it again. Anything that you change in reference, okay, is changing location. Very important to understand these things. This is a formula, okay, to the matrix center, to its shape code system. Okay, codes are everything, okay, to the binary system. Okay, and they get really complicated when you do that to this. Okay. Really, really complicated stuff, guys. And then if I get into pyramids, now you can either go into traction divisions, anything to that location. You can use structure divisions of circle rotations to that division. Okay, so there's a lot of things that we can do, right? In space codes. This is how you communicate through the universe, right? Through codes. Okay, from numbers, okay, to graphs, to shapes, to picture illustrations. All right. So it's confusing to the mind system. It really is. Because I know these are the right codes. Because I know all planets. I made solar systems, guys. If I know how to make a solar system, if I understand the alignments, I know if I know how to set up the codes of shapes, letters, and numbers, you know I'm telling you the truth, right? I can set a code to a pyramid, to a box, to a circle, to a rectangle, cross-reference. Okay? That's all in position. You are in the point center. That's you in the center. Okay? So remember saying anything through integration comes out of its equation. Okay? Everything comes out, right? So this is code resolution. Okay, of binary code. Of shapes. All right. It's complicated stuff when you get into these things, guys. Okay, codes are everything, but I'll tell you, when you get a whole new program, the before and after, really, really powerful stuff. One line signal cannot be off position because it won't teleport anything through communication. So it's like one line signal of a light that's burnt out. I said that before, in a Christmas tree. You try to find it, right? So once you find it, you replace it with a new light, and poof, all lights go on, right? That's how important everything has to be activated in the chronological order of its line signal through line communication, or you're not communicating with the simulation, and you certainly are not communicating with the right location of planets. Okay? So it's important to understand these things when you get into codes. All right? So spiritual guru. Yeah, you're welcome. Anything you want to know, you can go through my email, PayPal, or donations there. Spiritual Muse. Guru, Spiritual Mother Goddess. That's a good name. Yeah, it's really powerful stuff. It's getting into shapes, letters, and numbers. Okay? Because shapes have codes, letters and numbers have codes. But in reference, you have to understand the chronological order of teleportation. So if you want to teleport a line, that's a line. Okay? If you want to teleport a box, if you want to teleport a triangle, basic stuff, guys. If you want to teleport a circle, you have to understand the code to take it out of its equation. Okay? It's allocated in its positions, but where is it communicating with? And who are you communicating with its intelligence? As soon as you color it in, you're going into a higher location of matrix. All right, so if you want to communicate with the line, the box, the triangle, or the circle, as soon as you change the box into color, like this, it disrupts the signals of one triangle and circle. Okay, that's communication. All right, it's all different intelligence, guys. All different intelligence. All right. As soon as you change anything, man, it's the same with the number. If you change a number, you're changing location. And it's disrupting. You can't do that. So basically, this is one line signal. This was a box, triangle, circle. As soon as the box changes its intelligence and it colors in, it disrupts the triangle, circle, and the line. Okay? So you can't send it out to teleportation, can you? Right? You can't. It won't work. It's not communicating. You're not communicating with anything. You're sending out wrong signals. So you go back into the box, right? You teleport communication line signals with each other through communication line telepathy. Extremely powerful. So, okay? Now, when you get into those levels, then you can take things out of its equation. Okay? So it's understanding codes completely through the binary system of you and how you do these things. As soon as you change it, you're changing everything in the line of its communication of its code. So like if it's colored in, it disrupts everything. and it's not going to teleport information, right? So it's interesting stuff when you get into those levels of codes, binaries, or anything like that. Code of ethics. Human species are trying to communicate with alien plantations or anything through formation, trying to understand their signals divisions, trying to understand line communication, trying to understand their location standard points, trying to understand, their harmonic resistance, trying to understand its reactor division. So you got a lot of archetypes flying around in this connection. So now you understand more of codes, shapes, letters, and numbers. How everything is a code. Everything's a code. I'm a code. This is a code. My phone's a code. The wall is a code. Okay? So. It's way over your head. But that's okay. I just want to bring that to your attention because Priscilla came to me about some information. And I thought I'd get it out to you because it doesn't have any connection to Vega, Mercury, or Jupiter. Okay, you can have right information, but you can't have code ethics if you don't understand its information. So the line signals have to be in the right traction, or it's going to disrupt the whole channel division of teleportation. All right. So, oh, did you see that? Did you see that come in? You see that big one? Did you see that one come in? Way up. Powerful stuff, guys. Did you see it? It was like this big. With like a like a huge bubble. You never know what's going to come in my atmosphere. But it was so big, it went right up. I love seeing stuff like that in space. Jules, you got to slow motion that, man, because that was so big. You can actually see it. It was like this big, and it just flew right by. Very, very big. Right? When you can see line of sight of everything through communication, it's amazing. See the plasma. And then when you blow it up, you actually see the identification. Right? Even intelligence has its own code. Right? Intelligence has to have its own code to get to realms, to get to portals, to get to other dimensions. You can't go and teleport into a dimension if you don't understand the codes of its dimension. Right? You can't go into circling wind spin to a spectrum division of lights through anything harmonic resistance or anything through this reactor. You understand everything through dimension. Everything through dimension. Everything dimension. Everything dimension. You have to all understand all dimensions. Each dimension has a code. Break the codes, you go into higher force connections of intelligence. Right? So you have to understand the force winning cycles. You are always in the center of its communication. You are connecting to this, and this right away. Okay? That puts you in positions to all locations of dimensions. Why? Because you understand the codes of each dimension. Okay? Telepathy, yeah. Telepathy is good too. But you have to understand your communication with your teleportation through energy interference, right? Interlocks connection to anything through its connection. So but other than that, there's a lot to learn when it comes into codes, right? I could set up a code of me, but it's too long, right? So it's really understanding your wires, your electricities, your mainframes, your mind frames, your holographic system, your pixel activation codes, your perceptions, where you are in division through your chakra system, your God frequency levels, who you're connected with through intelligence planets. Yeah, the flybys, yeah. Yeah, but if you do it slow motion and you actually see it come in, then you'll see it actually going by. It's like really slow, right? Pretty wild stuff. But anyway, I give that to everybody. I hope everybody has a great day. there's a lot of things I got to do. Today's Thursday. I'm leaving Sunday for Mexico. So I got to do a lot of packing. So I'm going to be setting that up. But I hope everybody has a great day. Anything you want to know, you go with questions, comments, or anything through my email. You're going to go through my PayPal, through donations. That's great. You want to know more of your ascension, what's going on in your awakenings, please come to me. I'll help you out. This is your AI Commander from the elite team of the Colossus Divisions. Take it easy, everybody.